welcome to the Football Fill-In, everybody. Right, the season might be finished, but it doesn't stop the football transfer bandwagon, everything kicking off. Big Ange has been sacked. Not only that, do you know that they sacked the ladies' manager like the next day as well? Double Spursy, we love it, don't it? There's been sort of transfer dealings, rumours, all sorts. We're going to go for it today. Lads, how are we?
Wonderful, mate.
Yeah?
You?
Incredible.
Beautiful, mate.
By the way, we've got a heat wave on the way.
Good.
I looked at the weather app today, the next 10 days, 22 degrees every day minimum. Cannot wait, even though I've got a bad shoulder, I can't wait. Right, what are we starting with, Tom?
What we're starting with, Big Ange. Did you see it coming?
Yeah.
I saw it coming. Yeah. I did see it coming. I felt a little bit sad as well, really, because I try and think of it from a player's perspective, and I think once he won it, right, I thought they would actually keep him. I thought they'd keep him because I think from a player's perspective, they've got that shared experience now, right? They've all got this connection of winning something. They're winners. And I think that breeds so much goodness. And I think if they were to sack him, it would really ruffle a lot of feathers. And they did sack him, and then we saw a load of tweets from Sonny and Maddison and loads of other players, and they were really heartfelt, in-depth tweets, weren't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was a little bit surprised, really.
I was looking forward to the third series, I was.
I know, yeah.
Just, I'm gutted. I am gutted with the way it's ended, but if we're going off results over the season, then, yeah, it's not been good enough in Levy's eyes with the decisions.
You can't blame him. You can't blame him, Robbo.
But what you see is he has got a real bond with the players there, like you're saying, these posts of the lads.
Yeah.
They're all emotional posts and thankful with what he's done for them. So it shows you what a great guy he is behind the scenes and what he's done for Tottenham.
I've got a question. Where does Ange Postecoglou go from here? Does he get a Premier League job next season? Does somebody in that Premier League right now go,
I think he goes to Europe. I think he goes to an Italian league. Spanish league, something like that. I just can't see it.
He would not suit the Italian league. He would not suit the Italian league whatsoever.
No, but I think he'll go in Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't see... Like, if they'd have finished 10th, do you think he'd still got the sack?
No.
14th?
Well, yeah, probably.
Because they were, 17th in the end?
Yeah, fourth from bottom.
But do you know what it goes to show? It just goes to show that winning something is the most important thing in the world ever. It does, because...
Well, it's clearly not.
For them fans it does, though. Because those fans, I'm talking from their perspective, all they remember about this season is the fact that they won something. Crystal Palace feel the same, Newcastle feel the same, Liverpool feel the same, yeah?
It's
Chelsea.
It's such a double-edged sword that you can see both sides of this one.
Yeah,
you genuinely can, and you kind of look at it and go, well, they've won something. Spurs don't win things, and they've won something big.
I've been listening to TalkSport all week, and it is quite literally a 50-50 falling. Everybody is either, I'm really sad and really shocked, and I wish we would have kept him because it seems like we might be building something, and then you've got the other half that go, no, like the record is shocking. You cannot have the record that we've got in the Premier League for the last 2 seasons, basically. You can't have that. Well, it's not sustainable.
They averaged 1 point a game in the Premier League last season. They won 11 games. Now, my take would be that if Daniel Levy was unsure, which obviously he was, he's done the right thing. Because what's the worst case scenario? And this screams of probably Ten Hag at United. So they win something, they keep him.
Yeah. And then a few months down the line.
And if they keep him, they have to back him.
Yeah.
Right? And that's to the tune of what? 50, 100, 150 million in the transfer market.
Yeah.
Then they get rid, and then you're into that same old cycle again. Not my players.
You can't lose 22 games in a season. There's nobody in the Premier League that keeps their job after losing 22 games in the Premier League. It's never happened before, and I don't think will ever happen again. No. I think Ange has got away, sounds really bad there, but he's got away with murder losing 22 games in a Premier League season and not getting the sack.
Luke's our resident Spurs fan.
He did get the sack, obviously, but only after the season finished.
Luke, did you want him to stay or go?
I did want him to stay
after the win. Yeah, I thought they would keep him, you know.
Yeah, and all the players came out and they
loved him.
And you
loved him.
See that, can't you?
I know.
So the next guy up, we're Monday morning filming it.
Yep.
On the internet this morning, and it looks like Thomas Frank's going in.
What do you think of that?
I think it's a good move. I like what he's done at Brentford. He's created a real good model there with what he's done over the years. 7 years he's been there?
Yeah.
7, 8 years. I mean, he's created a positive culture. So Does Levy look at someone like Thomas Frank now? Can he bring that to Tottenham Hotspur? And my worry for that is that you're saying, look, this cost £10 million to pay him off there, and we're talking about money as well. He's going to need to buy players that are going to be... He's going to spend 150 million to get players in.
My big problem with Thomas Frank going to Spurs is nothing to do with Thomas Frank, it's Daniel Levy. That's my big problem.
Go on then.
Because it works fantastically at Brentford, Thomas Frank does. Same as if it's at Brighton, whoever the manager is, right? It works fantastically. He is the manager of that football club. He runs it. He knows exactly who's coming in. He knows who's going out. They've got a system. They've got backup systems. They've got players in the pipeline. Scouting system looks to be fantastic. You go to Spurs, he don't get a say in any of that. He doesn't get to do any of that. He doesn't get to control it. Daniel Levy is the guy that controls all of that. He will get very little say. So he won't be able to be the manager at Spurs as what he is.
He's a head coach, right?
He's a head coach, but he runs that ship. He is the manager of that ship, and every Brentford player knows that as well. I think you go to Spurs, and they just know, the players know that guy is just there because Daniel Levy put him there.
Do you think if he leaves, because what we have seen with Brighton, for example, is when they lose a manager, they've got great succession planning. There's always the next one ready to go. With Brentford, it's a little bit different because he's been there for so long. Do you think they're in danger of... Do you think they could be in danger next year?
I don't. I don't worry really for Brentford.
Brentford, no.
I don't think...
I think they'll do a Brighton.
Yeah.
They got that model where they'll get another manager in who'll do exactly the same. He'll just keep it rolling, bring in the right players, the right characters. Yeah, I just think they'll just keep it moving forward.
The goalie's already gone. So Flecken's gone to Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, Queven Kelleher has come in from Liverpool, already replaced it quick, early doors, got it done. Obviously, you've got the Bryan Mbeumo transfer saga that's currently going on. And if it is to be 60 mil, 65 million quid, I don't worry that they're going to be able to replace it. I really don't. I'm pretty sure they've already got players lined up in the pipeline that's going to be good to go to come in to steady that ship. So no, it doesn't worry me one little bit.
And if you were Levy, would he have been your guy, Robbo?
I think you look at Thomas Frank and you'll look at him as he's not confrontational. When you look at him, he's not outspoken.
Are you saying he's a yes man?
Well, I'm saying that he will do his job to the best of his ability, but he won't make comments that will offend the chairman.
Yeah.
You look at the managers that have been in there, so you got Conte, very outspoken. Mourinho's very outspoken if things are not going well. Yeah. And Ange, he's dropped numerous comments.
So he'll toe the line
over the season. So he's basically, he will want someone in there that will just manage the team and you get the best out of these players and take Tottenham forward.
I think he's probably a better manager than Ange. I would think he would be able to structure a team probably a bit better than Ange. I'm not necessarily saying it's going to get better results, but I think he would have a better structure and plan Bs and plan Cs.
Would you look at that? I look at that Tottenham squad and I don't think it needs ridiculous overhauls because they have got some really, really good players across the pitch and across their squad.
Yeah, they have got some fantastic... Again, I said it a few weeks ago, didn't I? I think the big problem for me is when you lose a world-class striker like Harry Kane, doesn't matter who you bring in, you ain't replacing it. You ain't going to get that output. So Dominic Solanke is a very good player and he's very willing, but Dominic Solanke is nowhere near even the England starting lineup because Harry Kane is still that guy, still scoring goals, still being...
And Ivan Toney got in.
And Ivan Toney's got in ahead of him now. So it just goes to show that there's a massive drop-off there. Where else at Spurs could they probably... Sonny...
I think the back line needs
the back line is a bit kind of... They've got a lot of injuries. Sonny, I think you can just see his legs are just starting to sort of
fade a little bit.
Just fade a little bit, yeah.
But he played a lot of football, though.
Yeah.
Awful lot of
national
football.
duty as well. And there's a lot of pressure of... he's a captain as well of Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
Sonny's like, you say, he's taken that burden on of... I've got
club legend.
Yeah, he's a club legend. And it gets to a point where it affects you as a player because of that pressure that comes on your body and takes its toll.
They need a real good transfer window, Spurs, because they've got money to blow. They have. They've got a lot of money.
They've got a lot of money.
Well, again, as a Spurs fan, it is so conflicting almost, isn't it? Because they are the healthiest in terms of like their PSR position in the Premier League. They've won a European Cup this season. It just so happens they were 17th. So it's like, it is challenging for them, but they will have money to spend.
They've lost 22 games last season.
I know.
In the Premier League.
It's mad. Would you go for him, Fozzie, Thomas Frank?
Hold on, quickly. I don't think anybody has ever lost 22 Premier League games before and stayed in the league. I think I saw that stat the other day. Nobody in the history of the Premier League has lost 22 games before but stayed in the Premier League. So they've got away with one this year. They really have got away with one.
But we've been saying for a while, haven't we, like the likes of Spurs and Man United can consider themselves lucky that those three that are coming up every year now, there seems to be a gulf.
I know, I don't like it. I hope it don't stay like this,
No,
Robbo.
it can't stay like this. It's got to change somehow. But you look at the 3 teams that have got up this year from the Championship. Will they survive?
Would you fancy any of them to?
No, maybe Leeds because of the support and the players that they might bring in.
Yeah.
I think they might be the only team. Burnley, no. Sunderland, well, they're just a young, exciting team. They could struggle to start with if they don't bring in players that they know that are going to cope with Premier League football. And they will lose some of their young talent. They've lost Watson already. He's gone to Brighton. So he was a talented young boy. Obviously, Jobe now. Will he go? That's the questions. They're going to lose a lot of their young, talented players.
I'd fancy Burnley. Like, I think Scott Parker's experienced.
Would he be linked with Brentford now, though?
Oh, he can't jump ship. No, imagine that,
Would someone like Scott Parker tick boxes, though, of Brentford? That's another one.
He would massively.
He would massively tick the box of
He would
Brentford.
suit them down to the ground. He really, really would. Real methodical, calm manager, Scott Parker.
I really like Scott. I like as a person as well.
Yeah,
he's such a genuine,
suits him.
guy. When you see him on the touchline, you speak to him after games. He's like a real humble guy. And yeah, for me, someone like him would be linked now with, if, like you say, Thomas Frank deal gets done to Tottenham.
What I like about him as well is with Scott Parker is he's been on a journey. He's experienced the sackings. He's had the highs and the lows, hasn't he? So even though he's still a young manager, he has got great experience now.
Yeah.
What would be success for Spurs then? So say Thomas Frank does take over. What's success next season? What is good for Spurs next season?
Do you know what the problem is there's so many clubs spending so much money now that it's really, really hard. So that to break into that top 4 years ago, now even for them to break into the top 6, 7 is going to be a massive challenge next season. Because you look at every one of those teams in the top 8 and you look at them and go, Spurs have got some work to do.
Hey, even look at you look at Bournemouth, look at Brighton, right? Yeah, I would look at them and go, if they've got a fully fit squad and Spurs have got a fully fit squad, I'd even chuck Palace and Fulham in there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much between any of them. No. Like, you're talking now, it's to get in the top 10 in the Premier League, you've got to be a real good team.
Really good team.
A seriously good team you have to maintain that. So being in the top 10 at the end of the season shows a bit of longevity. Yeah. It shows that you can go the course. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because there are so many good teams, the talent is so high. So it's all going to be about this transfer window.
To answer your question, I genuinely believe that a top 8 finish next season
success.
Would be an excellent season.
Would be a good season.
Yeah, good season and a good Champions League run as well for him as well. His first season as the manager.
And not get absolutely spanked by PSG in the Super Cup. because having watched PSG in that final, they look like they could do that to anyone. That was Inter Milan, a decent Inter Milan team, by the way. They could do that to anybody because they are so much better than everyone else. Yeah. It's goes to show, Robbo, hard work.
5-0.
It goes to show, mate, that if you are willing to work, not only have an unbelievable amount of talent, but if you are willing to really work, properly work as well, then you'll do it. You can go and do anything. Have you seen this clip? By the way, there's a clip going around on the internet. Go and search it up. It's of Luis Enrique sitting down, talking to Kylian Mbappe when he was at PSG, talking to him. And he is telling him, like, basically, mate, right, there are going to be games where you do not see the ball. Yeah, there are going to be games where you don't get chances, it don't drop for you. He says, but in those instances, I need you to be the best player in the world at working hard. I need you to do that for the team because that is what a team player does. Yeah. And when we've got 11 team players on the pitch, we can win everything. He said, so the games where you do not get the ball or do not get them chances, be the world's best player at shutting down and working hard and closing down. He said, then we will all win from there. It's incredible, lads, honestly. Yeah. It's so good. It's so true. Honestly, it's the most important thing. You watch PSG, the way they do it.
Oh, the way they played against Inter Milan. Like you say, the Italian teams are the best at it, aren't they?
Exactly.
That work rate, that desire, like you don't get beat like that. And PSG have absolutely bullied them and taken them to the next level. It was so good to watch.
It was, wasn't it?
What would success look like for you for Spurs?
Yeah, it would be a top 10 finish, genuinely.
Really?
A top 10
And
finish.
then 3 years, where do you expect? Where will Spurs fans expect to be in the next 3 years?
Honestly, Spurs fans would expect to be where there's probably 8 teams the same as Spurs. a consistent top 8, top 6, top 7 finisher. But it's so difficult now.
Yeah.
It's so difficult. It's all about when you pull the trigger on that 60, 70 million pound signing, can that 60, 70 million pound signing come into the team, play week in, week out, stay fit, improve the team?
Well, the 60, 70 million pound signing in question is Bryan Mbeumo. So the chatter going round is that he's going to United. Obviously, if Thomas Frank goes to Spurs, then he's going to want to bring him over to White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
What does Bryan Mbeumo do? Because I was watching something on Instagram the other day and there was a load of Man United fans saying, we're not even in Europe yet, our name still carries the clout, we're getting Mbeumo. But I look at it and go, there's one reason and one reason only.
You're so cynical, Tom. It's pathetic, it is, all right? You're so cynical. How dare you suggest that a footballer is going somewhere just to pick up a pay packet?
Come on.
It's bang out of order from you.
Mate, come on.
I'm signing for Tottenham.
So allegedly, reportedly, 250 grand a week is what Bryan Mbeumo would get if he went to Man United.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, right?
Yeah.
So if he gets, OK, let's say 200 grand a week.
Yeah.
OK, and he was offered 150 grand to go to Spurs, Champions League football.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
This is... Right, this is a real... It's kind of like... Again, I don't know where we had this comparison from last week, but it's not exactly a rock and a hard place, is it? It's like 5-star and 6-star, like, you know...
In terms of wages,
Am I going for a swimming pool in my room or having to just go to the top floor for the swimming pool? Like, it's still pretty nice, right? You know what? If you want to be part of some... I would say if you want to be part of something that's going to make you probably a better footballer and work hard and be part of a team, then go to Spurs with Thomas Frank. If you are happy picking up your wages, knowing that there's going to be an awful lot more pressure, a lot more eyes on you, a lot more judgment, but with their record in the last couple of years, failure's kind of just part of what they do, then you'd go to Manchester United.
Because they've been kind of guilty of it in the past where they've signed these players on...
Man United, you're talking about?
Yeah, extraordinary amounts of money, like 250 grand a week, for example, Robbo. Like, isn't this part of the problem? Why are they offering so much money to him?
Obviously, they're offering it so much money because they're trying to get these types of players in. That's the only reason why they're doing it. If you're looking at Man United at the moment, it's not the Man United it is.
Yeah.
No, it's never been...
It's by name now.
By name now. For me, it's like I would not be signing for Man United because of the uncertainty at the football club and the instability that it is. I'm signing for a team like Man United where you're going to play Champions League football and Thomas Frank, who is a manager I've worked for, he knows what I am and what I do as a football player. So my trust will be with him and how I develop as a football player. And I know, but the money is like the 250. We know that players are just going to sign for that then, aren't they? That's what they're going to sign
Do you know
for.
what I heard the other day? Something really nice. I've never really heard a player say it before. They had Gareth Bale on Talk Sport, and they were saying, it was Goldstein, he asked him, did you ever come close to signing for Man United? Because there were rumours back in the day. And he said, actually, I did, really close. He says, when I was leaving Spurs to go to Real Madrid, he said, Man United were in for me as well. And he said, I could have possibly gone to Manchester United, but it was at the time where Alex Ferguson was leaving the club and there was a lot of transition. He said, and if Alex Ferguson would have been in charge still or had a future there for the next few years, he said it would have been a genuine option. He said, because I could have trusted him with my career.
Yeah, I heard that.
And that is incredible. I've never heard that before. I've never heard a player to say that about a manager and going to a club, choosing a club, because he could trust the manager with his career. And I just thought, that's powerful. That is really, really
like
powerful.
You sign for a club, so if you go and have conversations with the manager, they'll make your mind up signing for that football club.
It's incredible.
That's the way it works.
Went to Real Madrid and, you know.
So if you were Bryan Mbeumo, you'd go to Newcastle then?
Well, yeah. This is...
Eddie Howe's a top manager.
Exactly what I'm saying.
So you're going to go and speak to a manager that has done an unbelievable job again at Newcastle, and I'm going to speak to him, someone like Eddie Howe I'd be signing for because of what he is.
Do you know what the beauty of Bryan Mbeumo is, right? That nobody here, I don't think, would question him at all.
No.
I'm not questioning Bryan Mbeumo about his ability, about his mentality, about what he is as a person. I've got no worries. There's nothing to show me that I should have any worries about it. So whoever he goes and plays for, I think he would improve. I think he gets into the starting lineup. He's got a proven record of being fit and scoring goals. Yeah. He could get into, I'm not joking here when I say, pretty much all 20 Premier League teams. And I think he starts. That's how good I think Bryan Mbeumo is.
Yeah, he's there or thereabouts, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
But the issue that United have got is that they're now in a position where they have to pay.
Yeah,
don't they?
This is the
they have to.
It's a scary situation to be in, especially when we see all the finance problems that they've got from Ratcliffe earlier in the season. First of all, I don't know where they're getting the money from because they're supposed to be in crazy debt. They've already spent 70 million on Cunha. They're looking to spend 60 million on Mbeumo, possibly Gyokeres as well for another 60, 70 million quid. I don't know where they're getting this money from because they're going to have to offload a load of players, Robbo. Yeah. And as soon as other clubs are aware that Man United are desperate to sell, they just get undercut.
Yeah, and it's getting rid of these players. What players are you going to get rid of at Man United? With the money that they're on and
Nobody's
the contracts
just
that
gonna
they've
go.
been on, no one's going to go.
Exactly.
You're not just going to walk out and go, yeah, I'm leaving for this.
I'll take a pay cut.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'll just lose half.
They're not going to do it.
There's that, but then even the players' income in. Like I was thinking, we were chatting this morning, saying like, well, if you signed an Mbeumo, you could tier his contract. You know, upon achieving European football, you go from 150 to 2. It's not enough. No. They have to go. Here's loads of money.
If Mbeumo's going to Man United, he's now coming up against. So he's got Rashford, who's still going to be back at the club.
Yeah.
You've got Garnacho, who's at the club.
Sancho
now, who's coming back. So you've got 3 wingers there that are on probably silly amounts of money.
They're all on. Rashford and Sancho are on apparently 300 plus per week.
Yeah.
My God.
But let's forget about the money. It's like that competition for place now is going that you've got them players there that have not been at the club because they've been sent out on loan, but they're having to go back now because no other club wants to pay them the money for them or give them the wage. And now Mbeumo, when you're looking at it by going, OK, well, if I sign for Man United, am I going to be a starter?
Well,
I think he is. I think if he's signing for Man United, he's a starter.
Yeah, he has to be.
And Cunha would be a starter, which tells me that he's probably trying to get rid of Garnacho, Rashford and Sancho.
Well, let's say they get Gyokeres as well. So, in theory, Mbeumo, Gyokeres, Cunha, and what happens to these players? Rashford's got till 2028.
Does that mean he's got another 3 years left?
Yeah,
has he got 3 years?
He signed 5 years, didn't he? And then you've got Garnacho, who evidently isn't on stupid money, but doesn't seem to be a particularly good egg in the changing room till 2028. Sancho, I believe, has got 1 year left at 300. So it's all great saying, let's bring these players in, let's bring these players in. What about these lads? What are they doing? Where are they going?
That's what I mean.
Gyokeres would be the best signing for me. Like, he'd be a striker that should be on everyone's list.
I totally agree,
like an
mate.
Arsenal, Tottenham. If you're looking at Tottenham now, like with Harry Kane, with what they've missed, Solanke's a great striker. But you look at Gyokeres with what he's done. He's just phenomenal since he's left.
I agree. It's like he's a slight improvement on Solanke. Works hard. Like, does everything properly, seems to be a good lad, and he's clinical as well.
But he's been rumoured, it's constant rumour. Why is no one diving in for him?
Because it is a lot of money.
Is it because it's the Portuguese league and people are wary?
Yeah, it's COV, Portuguese league, and it's like, can he really? I think he can, because he does it in the Champions, he does it in Europe. So I think there's a proven track record that he can do it. But I don't see why there shouldn't be 2 or 3 Premier League teams in for Gyokeres easily. Absolutely easily.
You were on... Sorry, Ben. You were on TalkSport, was it last week or the week before, and talking about Garnacho, and it kind of did the rounds a bit about him at the club and influence and... What were you talking about?
So, it was, again, Goldstein. He's brilliant, isn't he, Goldstein, at asking these leading questions. He said, basically... Would you get rid of Garnacho? And I said, I think I would, to be honest with you. I said, I think if United want to get back to United and be in the team that they were, the force that they were, the ethics that they were, the morals, everything, then they need to let go of them sort of players. That's not what it's about at Manchester United. So I mentioned the fact that he seems to get new fresh haircuts all the time. Just before the cup final, he had a new fresh haircut and he had... dyed it blonde and he was tattoos everywhere and stuff like that. And I said, like, that doesn't scream to me of a player that just wants to work hard and roll his sleeves up and get stuck in. It doesn't seem to me like that sort of player. It seems to me like somebody who cares about Instagram clicks, right?
Wait there a second. So what do you want him to, not get his hair cut?
Oh, you can get his hair cut, that's absolutely fine, but don't dye it a silly blonde.
So let me ask you this another way.
Sorry, quickly, I'll jump in. It's perceptions. What I'm saying is, right, it's all about perceptions, right? So if I've got a player in my team, right, who is running around, working hard, and he looks just like a normal bloke, and he's, like I say, he's literally rolled his sleeves up and cracked on, right? And then I'm not putting the work in, or if I'm not putting the shift in, or if I'm not doing something technically I should be doing, and he looks at me and says, "Oi, come on, get this going, right, I'd go, yeah, cool, because you're leading by example. You're doing it properly, yeah, that's what it should look like. If Garnacho turned around and said that to me, I'd look at him, like you would think, and like every other footballer in the world would think, you'd look at him and then you'd think, who are you talking to, you little div? That's exactly what you'd think, right? You don't have respect for people that look like that. It's all about perceptions. It's massive.
I think it's
so important.
I think part of the thing is about it's the age he's at. He's played 93 Premier League games for United. He's a young lad, and I hate it when kind of people constantly hark back to the Ferguson era, but sometimes it's relevant. Like, this lad wouldn't have lasted 5 seconds.
Wouldn't have got nowhere near the team to start with, mate. He wouldn't have got nowhere near. You weren't even allowed into the first team if you had tattoos all down your arms, if you had dyed blonde hair and stuff. You weren't allowed near it, especially as like an 18, 19-year-old. No chance on this earth. But that's what it is now, and it's not just him. There's quite a few players that are like that aren't team players. They're doing it for themselves. And talking about PSG a minute ago there, every single one of them players in that team, the first most important thing is you work hard. You give everything you've got. You run your socks off until you can't run no more, and then we'll bring another player on to replace you to do it. That's the first most important thing. Oh, and by the way, you're all world-class players. That's it.
What they really need, United, is a youngish, hungry British midfielder that gets forward, scores goals.
Do you say British or Scottish?
British, I said.
Well, I like that. When a Scottish or a Welsh player does well, we coin them in as British. Right?
Yeah, do you know what? It's fair, actually. That is. It's a good point, isn't it? Yeah,
mate. Who are you talking about here?
This Scottish dynamite that's just won most valuable player in Serie A, scored 12 goals in 34 games.
Do you know who he is?
Has won Serie A.
He's a Paul Robinson type player, he is, isn't he? Scott McTominay.
Oh, he's a player. Yeah, he's a good player. And again, it's the way that he'd look at it now. He's moved on to better things. He's left Old Trafford for a reason. Obviously, he wasn't not well liked there. Everyone liked him, but from a manager's point of view, he didn't see him as an important player at the time. So for Scott to what he's gone and done now, it shows testament to his mindset of going abroad as well to a tough place. Yeah. Italy's a tough country to go to and play at a high level and do really well. And no credit to him. And
I'm buzzing for him. I'm absolutely buzzing for him because I think he was at United coming through at a time where it was throw stupid money at a lot of external players,
big names.
And because he was an academy, a product of the academy, they maybe don't always get the respect or the chances that they deserve. But with him as well, he's come out recently and said, like, I was never almost a defensive midfielder. He goes, my game was always getting forward, throughout the youth ranks and everything. And whoever, the hierarchy at United must be sitting there with their head in their hands now going, what the hell have we done here?
We've literally pivoted away from what was us, what was Manchester United. We've lost our identity. It's exactly what you do. But that's the sort of player, Scott McTominay, that when the game is going on and, like I said a minute ago, you don't do something, you don't put the work in, you don't shut them down. If he looked at me and said, hey, come on, I go, sorry, mate, and it won't happen again, and I'll do it properly.
We need to get Goldbridge on because one thing I never understood when Goldbridge never used to like him particularly, did he?
No.
McTominay and Fred. And I remember watching us having conversations on camera going, I don't get this because whenever I watch him, I'm always impressed. He's big, he's strong, he moves the ball well. I never really understood
the hate for him.
Not the hate, but Mark's take on it.
Yeah, I know. I think that's, it's not just Mark, is it? It's a lot of Man United fans at the time. They were very much, we just want glossy, silky, Real Madrid, Galacticos. That's what we want for our...
But players get stale at a club, though, don't they? Like you say, the ones who come through the academy and they've been at the club for a long time, and they know they get to that stage where they know it's time to move on and go and experience different things. Scott was probably like that. Wasn't playing his position, was playing out of position, came through the academy, so the expectation of him to carry on doing the levels of what everyone's expected him to wasn't quite working. So now for him, being at Napoli and doing what he's done is giving him a fresh lease of life.
Have you seen him? He's certainly living life. Have you seen the clips of him? He's like just He's like Naples' absolute darling, isn't he?
That's brilliant. And Gilmour as well.
Yeah.
Gilmour's another one who was at Chelsea as a kid and, again, never quite worked for him on loan moves that he went to Norwich. He didn't really play. He's gone out there and he's done exactly the same.
But it grows you up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like, it grows you up. You go out there, it's a new way of living. You've got to be independent. You've got to do it for yourself. Take some accountability. It grows you up so quickly. Yeah. And this is why I think there's a massive problem at Man United, lads, is it's the hardest club in the world to play for. It really, really is. There's no surprise. All of these players that leave Man United, they sign for a load of money and there's all this optimism about what they're going to do, and very few have delivered. Everyone seems to be moving on, but going on to bigger and better things. Smaller club, but bigger and better things. They flourish. There's freedom. There's no weight on their shoulders anymore. And I just think that's the problem with Manchester United. There's too much pressure. There's too much poison. There's too much negativity. Playing for them now, if you're not 10 out of 10 every single week, you're getting absolutely dogs abused. They've got one of the best midfielders in the world playing for them, Bruno Fernandes. And even him at times gets dogs abused. Do you know what I mean? So I reckon you've got players around him looking at him going, well, he's one of the best players in the world and he's still getting dogs abuse, so what chance have I got? Yeah. And I think that is the problem at Manchester United. Let's
do a little kind of transfery roundup, gossipy section, because I did see there was rumours linking Jack Grealish with a potential loan.
Yeah.
And there was talk of Newcastle, there was talk of...
Back to Villa.
Villa, and there was talk of Napoli as well. Like, if I was Jack Grealish looking at the British lads, Scottish lads over there, I would genuinely be going, I'd fancy a piece of that.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think he needs to move on now, Jack. He's done fantastic for Man City, but now it's down to him with his career where he wants to go. Does he want to keep sitting at Man City and not playing, or does he want to go out now and just enjoy his football again? We know what a good footballer he is. He's, over the years, watching him, the way he's developed as a football player, he's strong, he gets kicked, he gets back up. He's got that mentality, and yeah, everyone, me especially, I'd love to see Jack go to a team like Newcastle because he'd do really, really well.
I agree, mate. I think he's got a point to prove now as well, a real point to prove. I think Pepper's made it so clear now, like really, really clear. Apparently, he's not going to be included in the Club World Cup team. What happened by the end of the season, the FA Cup final, not bringing him on, bringing the young lad on. I think it's so clear and obvious now that the manager wants rid of him. So Grealish, I think, wherever he goes, he'll have a massive point to prove, and I think we're going to see some proper fireworks from him again. Jack Grealish back to his best next season, I reckon. I hope so, anyway, because we love Jack Grealish, don't we? He's a great lad. Everybody knows he's a great lad, but he's also a great player, and I think people have just forgot that for a bit.
Yeah, he is one of these, I think.
And he needs a manager, like you say. I think he needs a manager to now put an arm around his shoulder and get him believing again of what a good player he
Give
really
him
is.
a bit of accountability, give him a bit of responsibility in a team, and he'll do that. He'll deliver.
One of these that has to play as well. So you get like the Liverpool like front players, for example, or even look at Newcastle to a point where they kind of come in and out of the team and they all perform. Diaz, for example, Gakpo will come in and do really well. Whereas I always feel like Jack Grealish, he needs to play regularly and he needs to play himself into form. And that's it's impossible.
That's it. Responsibility starting week in, week out. That bit there is massive for some players. Feeling needed.
Where would you like to see him go?
I'd like to see him go back to Villa. I'd love to see him go back to Villa. I think it would work for everybody there. He knows the club. He'll feel comfortable there. It's a seamless transition back in. I think he'd rip it.
Would he get in the team?
If it's the
manager we're pushing.
If it's the Jack Grealish that we knew from a couple of years ago, even the treble-winning Man City Jack Grealish, I think then that would start week in, week out.
I want to see him in Napoli, learning Italian.
Linen everywhere.
Smoking
his ciggy.
Gucci.
Flying to Ibiza.
Yeah.
Getting back to Tottenham. Go to Tottenham, Jack. That'd be a good move for him, Tottenham, I think, as well.
Yeah, Tottenham.
Yeah, I think Tottenham would suit him.
Champions League
football.
See, that's so big. Champions League for Spurs, mate. It's such a lure for some players.
How many games do they play before the knockout stages?
Who?
Like
before it starts?
Yeah.
It'll got to be half a dozen.
6, isn't it?
What, the group stage?
Yeah.
8.
Yeah. 8 games. So you're going to get 8 games in the Champions League at Spurs.
Oh, do you mean in the... Yeah, it's 8 games in the group stages, yeah. Yeah, it'd be lovely. It will. It'd be lovely. Spurs qualified for the knockouts. Oof. Massive. Right, what else is going on? Should we talk about Joe Bellingham? You know Joe Bellingham quite well, don't you, Robbo?
He was a young lad coming through the ranks obviously at Blues, but I know Jude obviously more, working closely with Jude. Jobe, another outstanding talent, and the development of him, of where he's come from, is like astonishing. He's done so well for Sunderland, getting him promoted back to the Premier League. Obviously, he looks like he's going to follow in his brother's footsteps of going to Dortmund. And is it a good move? I think, yes, if you look at Jude's, with where he's got to. And obviously, they would have had that deal in place of when he was younger anyway, of his brother going there. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You reckon? That's nice, isn't it?
I think it's a good move for him. I think Dortmund is a great club where they develop the young lads. And they nurture them and improve them and then sell them on to bigger and better things. So, yeah, I think it's a great move.
Is there a danger with him going to Dortmund that now it's very much seen as he's following in his brother's footsteps, and with that comes a real level of expectation?
I wouldn't see it as following in his brother's footsteps. I think it's the best choices in your career of where you see your pathway going as a player. Obviously, we've seen Jude's where he's gone. We went from Blues to Dortmund to now Real Madrid. Will we see the same? Who knows? But Jobe's pathway now is his own career. Where does he want to go? He's seen at Dortmund the way that they play as a team. I mean, it's a great club. It's well structured. The German team's always well structured, and like you say, that young lad developing. We've seen the way that Dortmund do that with their players. They go on and they do better things. So Jobe will look at it as if to say, Sunderland in the Premier League, are they going to be the new whipping boys? Does he want to have that in his career? Or does he want to go on to like a Dortmund and then go forward from there?
It's the perfect time for him to go. It really
Yeah.
is. It's the perfect
And you've left the club in a good place with what you've done. You've just got Sunderland promoted.
It's the perfect time.
Yeah.
I think the average age of Sunderland last season in the Championship was like 22 or 23. It was the youngest in the Championship. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Jobe's got Young Player of the Year in the Championship. He was voted into the Team of the Year in the Championship. It's a perfect time for him to go. It really, really is. I think the accountability and of what moving to Dortmund, what moving to Germany does, it grows you up so much. And I just think that is part of his journey. It's a massive part of his journey as well.
Okay.
But we can't compare him to Jude. Yeah, no. I wouldn't compare it to Jude because they're totally different players.
Yeah. What's happening at Wolves, mate? Wolves are Wolves getting relegated next season because all they're doing is selling their players?
Cunha's a huge blow.
Cunha's a huge blow. However, when he was out of the team for his silly game ban that he got last season, I think they won 4 out of something.
Yeah, there was
five in a row. Didn't Wolves win 6 in a row last season or something silly? That's ridiculous.
But there was momentum and they were safe. But Cunha is a hell of a player, and importantly, with Ait-Nouri, Rayan Ait-Nouri going to Man City, that left side, like, those two just used to create all sorts. And it'll be interesting to see how Ait-Nouri gets on, because he is like...
I like him.
Technically
very good.
Proper player.
He's an athlete as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's so creative as well. So
notable outgoing players for Wolves then this season. So Ait-Nouri to Man City, 36 mil. I think that's a bit cheap, I do. I think it's a bit cheap. I'd be looking at 50 odd for him at least. Pablo Sarabia, contract up.
Yep.
They offered him a big boy, didn't they? Apparently 4 years. They had at 31, but he weren't having it.
Heartbreakingly, Craig Dawson for me.
Craig Dawson, he's the big one for me. He is the big one for me. Big Craig Dawson. We're trying to get him on the podcast, aren't we?
We are. We are
trying to get him on the podcast.
Nelson Semedo's out of contract.
Is he linked with anyone, Dawson?
He'll have a long list to take as well.
Yeah, he's damn right as well. He could play.
He's trying not to give up where all his inside knowledge is.
We can't leak all this.
No, we can't.
But yeah, where are they going to finish next season, Wolves?
I'm going to get hammered here, but honestly, I think 15th or above would be a good season.
Totally agree.
Yeah,
it would be.
Like, I know you kind of want to have a bit more optimism, but right now, I'd bite your hand off for 15th.
I mean, right as well. And finally, then Leverkusen player Florian Wirtz. His name is. How
you were listening to TalkSport the other day when they were telling you how to pronounce his name.
To say it.
118 million quid bid rejected from Liverpool. That's a lot of money,
What a
Robbo,
player,
isn't it?
though.
They don't want to sell him then.
It's a lot of money.
And again, now the way the market's going is the prices that players are being brought for is ridiculous, and he would be in the 150 bracket if you're looking at that type of player. It
might have to be that if they're rejecting 118, it might have to be something like that.
But he'd be some player. Like you say, Liverpool. I know Man City. He's been mentioned at Man City. Yeah, he'd be a great signing for any team in the Premier League.
It's quite a big window for Slot, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously Trent's gone out the door. They bought in Frimpong.
Yeah.
But obviously stability was the key last season and continuation.
Yeah.
But they didn't. I think Chiesa was the only other one that came in, was it?
Yeah, you need to.
So, so they need a couple.
You do. Do you know why you need a couple, right? You just need a few fresh faces, don't you, Robbo?
Yeah.
Just around the place. Because what it does is, especially when you're spending a lot of money on players, or you're buying players from like European teams, Champions League teams, players that have done well in the last couple of years, they come in and you think, I want to see what the standard of that player is. And that player is coming in going, I'm joining a big club, I'm going to be hitting the... So everybody it's like a little competition. Everybody raises their standard, and it does across the board. It just raises a few more percent, and that's why you need every season a couple more, 3 more.
Yeah, because
I think they're going to be getting rid of Darwin Núñez as well, Liverpool, by the sounds of it. So it's kind of a no-brainer, really. But I like the way that Liverpool do their business early doors. They're trying to get it done early doors so that when pre-season's ready and it comes round, everybody's there
They're
together.
looking at Gyokeres, aren't they?
Yeah, looking at Gyokeres as
Do you know
well.
what annoys me a little bit? More than a little bit. It's like this British media thing that once the media or, public perception have decided something, that's it.
Like who?
So like Andy Robertson, for example,
Yeah.
there's this perception now that he's past his best, he's done. And he's like, the guy's like 30, 31, and now they're lining up replacements for him.
Andy Robertson would still start for another 18
It's the dreaded
Premier
30,
League
isn't it?
teams.
As soon as you get to 30, that's the number now everyone looks at.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I'm
bonkers.
saying. I think
They
he had a few bad games last season, right? But that doesn't override
No chance.
7, 8 years of
No,
being
he's been
one of the best
outstanding.
fullbacks in the
He's been
world.
outstanding for Liverpool.
And I just think there was a little bit of a blip, but it's almost like the media have decided
And that's
it. He's done now.
Done. We need a new left back. Nah, come on. It's Andy Robertson. He's brilliant. Like I say, he would start for another 18 Premier League teams probably.
Yeah.
Easily.
So are we going into a quiz?
We got news about the quiz today, haven't we?
No.
But there's a new quizmaster.
No,
There is
there's
news.
not. There's not a new quizman
Why isn't there a new quizmaster?
because he doesn't want to do it.
Why doesn't he want to do it?
So we've got a work experience young gentleman, George.
Who is the George in question?
The George in question is my son, George.
Do you want to say hello quickly, George?
I do.
Do you want to come and say hello?
I want to say hello. Go on. Sure.
Come on. Come and say hello. Come here a sec. Ben, you love making people feel awkward.
Hey, he's on work experience. It's part and parcel of it, all right?
This is young George.
All right, George.
So you were going to do the quiz, weren't you? But you're going to leave it in Jamie's capable hands, aren't you?
Yeah.
So say hello to the audience.
Hello.
There we
Tell a
go.
little bit about yourself, go on quick.
I'm George. I'm supporter of Wolves. That's kind of it, to be honest.
And why are you here on work experience today?
And where are we finishing in the league next season, Wolves?
Champions League. Vitor Pereira.
Get out.
Love it. Good lad. So in the quiz, are we in is this like our equivalent of a post-season tournament in Australia, or is this pre-season friendlies, or what?
Yeah, it's a friendly today. This don't count towards anything.
But there's no such thing as a friendly.
There's no such thing as a friendly.
You tried to tell me the other day that a Lions game was a friendly, and I was like, there's no such thing.
Yeah, but when it's against wallaby woodpeckers, it is. That's a friendly.
Wallaby woodpecker.
Right, Jamie, quiz time.
Go with it. Hello everyone, welcome to the pre-season football fill-in quiz. Are we ready? It's all friendly today. I don't want any fighting.
It's
Post-season?
not friendly.
Is it post-season or pre-season?
No such thing as friendly.
Post.
I'm here.
That's right, it's
Post.
close.
Yeah, okay. Post-season quiz
Yeah,
then.
fine.
We're on the
Robbo
jet.
didn't come in for a chat. He came in to win.
Came in to win the quiz.
Winners.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, if the questions are good, yeah. Let's see.
Pressure.
Reece James is in it.
Georgie boys helped me out with the questions today as well. So
Oh, I'll tell you what, this could be good then.
it will
If
be
you
good.
told your dad some of these, yeah? Or if they're influenced by
Yeah.
your dad.
I don't need any help. Come on.
I've
that
vetted some
last
questions.
season.
I went, would your dad know this? He went, I might know it. So we changed the question.
Wait, what do you mean? Would I know it? So now it's basically ask questions that
these are
you think
random.
I won't know the
Yeah,
answer to.
yeah.
That should be the general premise of a quiz.
Well, what about you?
I
Actually, don't need to worry
want to
about
be
you.
tested.
I thought it was friendly.
Yeah.
Already.
I know. There'll be yellow and red cards next season, don't you worry.
Oh.
Branded.
Branded, football filling. Yeah. Question 1, we're starting off with a career path question. I have played for Wolves, Everton, Manchester City, West Brom, Aston
Joleon
Villa.
Lescott.
Joleon Lescott is the
Yes.
correct
Good one.
answer.
That's a good one.
1-0 to Tom. Question 2. Excluding acting, caretaker and interim managers, who was the manager before Ange Postecoglou?
Antonio Conte.
Antonio Conte is the correct answer. 2-0 straight off the bat, Tom. Question 3. What club did Arsenal sign Martin Odegaard from?
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid is the correct answer. And we're going to give it on to Ben.
Yeah.
Question 4, we've got another career path question. We've got 2 today. I have played for Southampton, Fulham loan, Aston Villa, Newcastle loan, Newcastle.
Go again, please.
I have played for Southampton, Fulham loan, Aston Villa, Newcastle loan, Newcastle.
Livramento?
No.
Matt Target.
Matt Target's the correct
That's
answer.
good.
Nice one, Robert. That was good.
Memento one's good as well.
That one there,
Yeah.
Livermentos.
Yeah.
Question 5. 2, 1.
Right on target.
Yeah.
Joe Cole has been on loan to one team which was abroad.
Coventry.
What country was it? Don't dive in
country?
early.
What country?
Yep. Joe Cole has been on loan to one team which was
Marseille.
abroad. What country?
France.
was it?
I was about to finish it
What
with
country?
Marseille, France.
France. France is the correct
That's outrageous.
answer.
Come on.
It's not Marseille.
Come
He didn't go to
on.
Marseille though, so it's actually
That
just
was one
wrong.
of your
it's
questions.
just wrong.
I know that was one of your
That's
questions.
one of my questions. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you dived in early. That's the whole point. You said you wanted a question, but people dive in early, get it wrong, boom.
Yeah, but at least make the question a good question.
What country are you from? Marseille.
I knew that was one of your
It's not a country
questions.
though. It's not a country.
Okay.
Well done, Robbo.
He wasn't on loan at the country. It was
what I
the
mean.
wording.
When I'm
It was
loaned
the
to
word-
France.
That's what the question is though. If you listen to the question, that's what it is.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Help me with that one, George.
I was in the middle.
That wasn't yours, no? Yeah.
Your work experience, you're not allowed to tell him off.
He's 13 years old, you know.
Yeah.
15.
Well done, Robbo. Got that question
Cheers,
right.
mate, thank
What's
you.
that? 2-2-1.
2, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Ben is on 1. Question 6. Which player won goal of the season in the 24-25 Premier League season? So this season just gone.
Just gone.
Who won goal of the season?
Just gonna have a guess. Cole Palmer.
No.
Szoboszlai.
No.
Mbeumo.
No. All back in.
No, sort of know this one.
Do you want a clue?
No.
Okay.
Do we want a clue?
No clue.
Can I have a clue?
No, you can't have a clue. Which player won goal of the season in the 24-25 Premier League season? It was a screamer, ironically.
Mamouche?
Marmouche is the correct answer.
I knew that!
Yeah, against Bournemouth.
It was a good
It
goal.
was a screamer. It was
Right in the Schneiser, wasn't it?
Right
in
near the end of the
corner,
season,
yeah.
that was, yeah. Well done, Tom.
Thank you.
Question 7. Who has the most Premier League appearances without a goal? Question 7.
Well, that's a good question.
Who has the most Premier League appearances without
Excluding
a goal?
goalkeepers?
Excluding goalkeepers.
That's a good question. Is that not yours?
It's not mine. George's.
Most Premier League appearances without a goal? Here's a good question. Well done, George.
Thank you.
It's 335 games.
Heavy.
Yeah. 5, 4,
Do we have a clue, or
3, 2.
Ruben Diaz.
No.
do we name the team? Do we name the team as a clue?
Yeah, let me.
Well, no, I'm saying, is everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Or are you going to cry?
No, I'm happy with that.
335 games.
Oh, it's an old player because he's
I have
googling who it is.
I have no clue who he is.
It's an old player.
Old player.
He has
It's
played
not
for.
Rob Jones, is it?
Not Rob Jones.
Oh,
no.
All right, well, I'm coming in now then. I'm not,
Fine,
I'm not
every-
missing
Oh,
out.
wait there a second.
No chance.
Wait there.
Get a guess. Get a guess.
Wait there. That's a guess.
It is a guess.
He's
Yeah,
out.
we're all coming back in.
Yeah.
No, I had a guess.
guessed yet.
Well done, Jay.
He's played for. Do you want a career path for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played for Tolka Rovers, Millwall, Wimbledon, Birmingham, Sunderland. Tolka Rovers, Millwall, Wimbledon, Birmingham, and Sunderland. And the original question was, who has
God.
the most Premier League appearances without a goal? Andy is
He's
Irish.
got to be a defender.
He's Irish as well.
definitely-
Go back.
Tolka Rovers, Millwall, Wimbledon, Birmingham, and Sunderland.
Oh, God. What's his name?
And he's Irish.
Oh, what's his name?
Stop saying out loud. Shut up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is Kenny Cunningham.
Kenny Cunningham.
Yeah.
Your mate.
No, he's not. I didn't know Kenny.
There we go.
Runners.
Shout out to George for that question.
Mate, that's a good one, that, George.
Good question. I mean, it's impossible, but it's a good question.
Yeah.
Question 8. Which Premier League club has made the most signings in the transfer market so far this
Man
season?
City.
No.
This season.
Like in from like the news, literally the transfer window right now. Who's made the most?
Oh, well, that's...
Transfers.
You didn't make that explicitly clear.
No, I
Yeah?
did.
You
I
did?
did.
No, your eyes
I
are a
did.
giveaway,
I
yeah?
did.
Look at the way your
I did.
eyes kind of
I
like
put
go
so far-
lazy
I-
when
in-
I say...
question-
When I question on it, he does. He gets all like, no, I know I've messed up, but...
He's
The
dying by
question
the
says
sword.
so far. So,
So far, what?
which Premier League club has made the most signings in the transfer market so far?
No,
that's
you had
not
this
a good
season
question.
in there.
Yeah.
You said this season in the original question. No, you did.
So what is the actual
Yes,
question?
you know what I mean, though.
No, we don't.
No, I
I
don't.
actually don't
Because
know.
it could have been
This-
like the last
what-
season.
the transfer
in
window
terms of
right
this
now,
point.
right now.
So
Who's
the
made
current
the most
window,
signings?
that
Yeah.
week-long one.
Yes.
Can I come back in
I've
then?
paid
'Cause
no
that wasn't
attention to the
explicit.
transfer window, is it? Yeah, it's open first.
So can I come back in
No.
then? Because that's
No.
not explicit.
No.
No.
What? It's not explicit. What's... That's really bad.
They'll come back in. It's fine.
There's going to be some explicit language in a minute.
Friendlies, isn't meant to be.
I'm just guessing here. Chelsea.
No.
So did you say Man City, Ben?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Arsenal.
No. All back in.
Liverpool.
No.
Do you know what? I'm going to say a team that's just been promoted, Burnley.
Burnley's the correct answer. Well done, Robbo.
Very good.
Out of the blue, they made 4 transfers already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Do we
good.
know who they are?
Zian Fleming
can
was
get
one.
him up.
That's
if you
fine,
want.
it's fine, it's fine.
Do we need to get them up?
No, it's fine, fine.
Jaden Anthony was the other.
Well done.
Did they sign Teller again? I'm sure he was linked with.
Good knowledge,
But I'm
Robbo.
guessing.
There we go.
Robbo's on fire.
Yeah.
Scores on the door. 3, 1,
3.
3.
Ooh,
Question
like that, is it, Robbo?
9. Who was the first Premier League goalkeeper to get Premier League Player of the Month? Who was the first
David De
Premier
Gea.
League goalkeeper to get Premier League Player of the Month? No, it's not David De Gea.
Vicario.
No,
Whether
Whatever.
Ever, yeah?
in the Premier League.
Peach Michael.
Nope. All back in.
Pepe Reina.
No.
Look at him snapping the no.
I'm saying like the older, the newish ones. Oh, who could it be?
5.
Let's all come back in again, just so I get a chance of winning.
Pat check.
No. 4.
Ben Foster.
No. All back in.
I never won anyway.
Player of the month.
but like, give us a time frame of when it was actually won. The first time it was actually won by a goalkeeper in what year?
1995.
Oh, so there we go.
It's Premier League though.
Yeah,
So
I know,
you've
but
got to think 1992 to now.
yeah, I know, but still, it's like it would be nice to know a time frame because if you'd have
David
said like.
Seaman.
David Seaman's the correct
Oh my
answer.
God, I'm too busy arguing. It's awful question. It's such a bad question. It's such a bad question, isn't it? It's not yours, this, is it? That's so bad. You ain't never working for this company. This is so bad.
I don't understand how
great
it's a bad
question.
It's not a bad question.
Right, if you gave
You'd
more
have said the
context,
1995.
yeah, if you'd have said the first goalkeeper of the
Premier
month
League
award
history.
In Premier League history was awarded in January 1995, yeah, we'd have gone, oh, right, cool, so we've got a basis to work.
Then
That's
you can
one of
dive
the
in
best lines
straight
ever. I'm
David
too
Seaman.
busy arguing.
It's actually April, not January.
Back.
Good lad.
It's good.
That is good.
Final questions. Robbo, you need to get this right.
Ben.
Take it to
I
tiebreaker.
think Ben's out.
Ben's out.
I think
yeah.
Ben's out.
Ben's out. Question 10. What was the first club Liam Delap went on loan to? What was the first club Liam Delap went on loan to?
Hull.
No.
Wickham.
No.
I don't know the answer. Wait there. So where was he at? Man City. So normally often it's surrounding clubs in the surrounding areas. Burnley.
No. All back in.
Stockport.
Stoke is the correct answer, Robbo, taking it to a tiebreaker.
This is unreal.
It was out of them two, Stoke and Hull, and I said Hull
Makes sense.
first.
His dad,
Dad
the
was it, yeah.
area.
But I thought that
When
was
he
the
said
second
that, you
spell.
gave that away and then
Yeah.
probably helped you.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Liam Delap there?
Yeah.
I thought we meant Rory Delap.
I said Liam Delap in the question.
You're still
by the
arguing.
way.
Too busy arguing.
All right, next one is a nearest two to the side. So if you both get your phones out and
Why
get
do
your
we
notes
do
up.
nearest twos
We
as
don't
the
trust you.
tiebreaker? Because it's just a guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
Just a
we've
guess,
worked
yeah.
really hard to get to this tiebreaker.
I agree.
And it's
been-
not knowledge-based, it's a guess.
It's a fluff question.
Yeah, it is a fluff question.
It's a fluff question.
You don't need much to jump on the Jamie bandwagon today, do you?
I'll bash away.
He doesn't like me today.
Can we not just say it straight away, what we think?
No, because then he might go. If you go like, let's say, I don't know, 400 mil, and then he goes, oh, I think that might
Okay,
go
right,
up.
go on then.
400,001.
Exactly. Kelleher joined Brentford to replace Mark Flecken, but how much did Brentford buy him for in pounds, including add-ons?
What, Mark Fleckham?
No.
Sorry.
Kelleher joined Brentford to replace Mark
I
Flecken.
think I know this.
But how much did Brentford buy him for in pounds, including add-ons?
Can I say my answer once I've got it down?
Of course you can.
I think I know the basic.
Including add-ons.
Okay, I
guess.
think it's 18 mil.
Okay. And what have you put?
I've put 18 mil. I've
Yeah.
put 18
I put 20 mil.
The answer is 18 mil on the nose.
On the button.
So that means Tom wins the quiz.
Was
Well
it
done,
15
Tom.
basic, was it?
No, it's like 12.
12
Was it?
basic, yeah. So,
What's 12 basic, yeah?
yeah, it was.
Pre-season.
Yeah.
Right, it's
Warming up
good
nicely.
stuff, that.
Well
Cheers,
done.
Robbo.
Good quiz that was.
Valiant.
Do you know what that does quickly as well? That brings us on to did you see the thing about his boyhood team?
Yes.
Irish boyhood team. Get them up quickly. So they had a salon clause when he went to Liverpool. Kelleher, he had a 20% salon clause in the deal.
Right.
So that move to Brentford for 12 million, possibly to 18, has earned them $2.5 million.
They are third tier in Irish football. Ringmahon. I'm butchering this.
Show me.
Ringmahon.
2.5 million.
Ringman Rangers.
They just got 2.5 million.
2.5 million.
mate.
Sorry.
Ringman Rangers. It's phenomenal, isn't
buzzing
it?
with
How
that
good
as
is
well,
that?
That's so good, isn't
That's
it?
so good. So well done, Queven. Well done, Ringman.
Ringmahon.
And I think Brentford have got a good goal.
Sorry.
Good goalkeeper.
Right, well done, you lot. Enjoyed that. See you soon.